It is 7:21 on this Friday. More than a million people suffer from Parkinson's disease. And if you think it's an old person's illness, well, we want you to think again this morning.
Nathan Kamp is here with us this morning to explain. Nathan, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, more and more young people are being diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and some of these patients are as young as 18. Actor Michael J. Fox has become the face of early onset Parkinson's disease and has used his star power to raise awareness for the disease through his Fox Foundation. He's getting some help from a New Jersey man who turned his diagnosis into determination and spreading awareness about what used to be known as senior citizen sickness.
Well, I didn't quite understand how a quote-unquote senior citizen's disease was affecting me here and now.
43-year-old John Ryan was diagnosed with Parkinson's 2 years ago, but he hasn't let that slow him down. Since then, he's completed the New York City Half Marathon and numerous 5K races to raise awareness about the disease. But he wasn't always so open about his illness.
It took me about a year of denial, hiding it from family and friends, to really embrace the new me and go out public.
The signs were becoming too obvious to hide.
The stress causes the tremors to come out a little bit more.
John's wife Barbara said she was noticing changes.
At night, when he would sleep, he'd have the restless leg syndrome, so I knew something was happening, and I was scared.
Parkinson's is a neurological disorder that gets worse over time, but there is no medical test for Parkinson's, making the disease more of a mystery.
It's changed my life. Yes, we have bad days, but overall, it's made me embrace the life that I have.
His optimistic outlook helps his family deal with the diagnosis.
The way he goes about life is just so positive, and I've learned to live like that.
There's no specific treatment for patients suffering from early onset Parkinson's, but John says cardio exercise helps him control the tremors, and he's using that to set an example for others living with the disease.
John is an extreme example of those willing to get involved. He's getting hundreds of other people involved in the money that he's raising. John Ryan is an excellent ambassador for the foundation.
And John will continue to inspire people this weekend at the 18th Annual Parkinson's Unity Walk in Central Park. You can join Team Ryan's Hope on Saturday and help John reach his fundraising goal. We're going to have a link on our website where you can find some more information on how to make a donation. Now, before I send it back to Francis, John, I just want to thank you for sharing your story. It really affected me. You're an inspiration to me, and I know so many. Keep up the good work, and I'll see you tomorrow at Central Park. Francis?
All right. And we all thank him, Nathan. Thank you. Well, there are 50 to 60,000 new cases of Parkinson's disease diagnosed each year, and that's on top of the 1 million people who already have the disease. But what exactly is Parkinson's, and how is it treated? So Dr. Steve is joining us this morning to help us understand this a little bit better. So tell me, what is Parkinson's really?
Yeah, you know, Francis, it's so difficult for so many people. Parkinson's is a chronic and progressive movement disorder. What does that mean? It means it gets worse over time. It doesn't go away. It starts out slow. It's extremely common. It occurs in people usually over the age of 50, but like Nathan said, it can start earlier, and when it does, it usually runs in families. The frustrating thing for doctors, know why it happens, and there's absolutely no cure. So when you have it, it's about treating the symptoms.
And from Nathan's piece, we saw no treatment as well. So what are the symptoms that we can look out for?
All right, so there's a lot of symptoms, but some of the more common ones, the real specific ones we're talking about, the classic ones, are tremors, rigid, stiff limbs. You might have a stooped posture, and this finger-thumb rubbing, they call it pill rolling type of thing, like this. Now, this can vary from person to person, but the point is also things like a shuffling gait, and you see people, their face looks like a mask, they don't have expressions, their voice might get very, very low and very, very soft. A whole bunch of things, but that's stiffness, and it can start out as just like a little stiffness in the shoulder and rigidity, and you might think you injured yourself or maybe one of your limbs, and that's exactly what happens there.
I wish we had more time to talk about Parkinson's, but we do have to get this in. You have a very, very special guest who's going to be on the Dr. Steve show, who I would love to meet her one of these days, and you did.
I did. Dolly Parton. Let me tell you, I interviewed Dolly Parton for the Dr. Steve show. This was such an experience. Dolly is phenomenal. She's 66 years old, and she grew up basically dirt poor in the mountains, one of 12 children, and I got to talk with her about mountain medicine, the things that went on in her life. This is an interview like none other you've ever seen about Dolly. She was so surprised, the things that we dug up about her when she grew up. Do you know that she almost lost her toes when she was a child, and her mom actually...
Did she sew it back on?
Yeah, well, here's it. She cleaned them with kerosene, And then she packed them with cornmeal, and then she sewed them with a needle and thread with no anesthesia. I mean, that's just one of the things. Wait till you hear. She was blown away by the things we found out about her.
She's so fascinating. I love it. And there's going to be a treat for Pix 11 viewers, too, especially if you're a Dolly Parton fan. You know, you're going to receive, I think, her DVD-CD combo. So
yeah, signed CD-DVD combo. So 30 of our viewers will be able to get them.
Okay, perfect. Go to our website to find out information on that. Time right now is 7:26. Thank you, Dr. Steve.
You got it.
All right, thank you, guys. 7:26. Plenty more on the Pix 11 Morning News ahead. A check of our top